That means
Okay. Hi.
hello.
Sorry, it's gonna make me up for 5 minutes.
Okay, just 5 minutes, right?
5 starts now. Yeah, just it's giving you say
okay.
your time starts now. Make me up.
I hear the beat. It's in my chest. Got me feeling some kind of way. I confess the rhythm takes over. No room to rest. My heart's dancing. It's a love conquest. Oh, the melody. It's smooth and sweet, like honey dripping from a golden bee. It's the soundtrack to my soul's heat, making me move from my head to my feet. My heartbeat, yeah, it's pumping so loud. It's the rhythm of love, baby. Let it fly when the music plays. I just can't help but sway. Nothing else matters. It's my
So as you all know,
oh, baby.
the makeup that he did, that's why my face is like this. I just have to adjust it to at least even look presentable a bit. For us to do the video. I have to adjust to do the video because I cannot be looking like a masquerade. So,
Okay.
So what do we have for today?
5 things, right? So
Okay.
5 things we've learned from each other
Okay.
for this year's. It's our anniversary actually,
Okay.
and we will be considering 5 things we've learned from each other. That's 5 things I've learned from my wife, and 5 things she has learned from me.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Ladies first.
ladies first.
Ladies first. Yes, ladies first.
No,
Ladies
no,
first.
go. Let them looking for the page. Looking for the page. It's okay. The first thing I have learned from you is punctuality. You used to hurry my life. And
As
just
for
that
you.
even couples picture we don't have because you're always rushing. Even when another one
No,
is pitching the message.
if they say you complain, no.
I'm not complaining. I'll say something.
Things that you have learned.
Okay, wait now.
You have to
It's still inside the same now. Okay, things that I've learned as a punctuality. Rush. Nothing, no picture, purpose picture, nothing. But after I've learned how to be on time because you are always in a haste. I don't know you're rushing to. If they ask
It's a
me,
good thing now that it's a bad thing.
okay, it's a good thing.
You're complaining. Things you have learned.
I've learned punctuality. I've
Okay.
learned Jesus. I've learned punctuality. I've learned how to be punctual for him. Yeah, he's always on time. I
For
don't know
me
where.
or for your occasion.
From you, now. I say
Okay,
from
from me.
you.
Okay.
Because he's always in the haste. I don't know where he's rushing to. Appreciate me asking. But I've learned punctuality.
Okay. Me,
Yeah.
the first thing I have learned from you is optimism, actually. I've learned optimism because my wife is highly optimistic. She believes everything is possible. And she doesn't really take no for an answer. For me,
Sweet.
that's really something I have learned from my wife. To be optimistic, to be dogged, and not to just give up at first try or something like that. I've actually watched you over the years. I've observed that you're quite dogged. You're quite like if should I say like you don't take a no for an answer, and you always believe that there's always a way out. And for me, I'm actually beginning to adopt that now, not to just take no for an answer.
Okay, now I understand it. So this I should be saying my own too. I should not say it.
You want to blame?
No, not blame now. It's a good thing.
Okay.
Okay. Don't look at my note too.
No.
The second thing I've learned from my husband is patience.
Okay.
Yes, he just watching how he's patient with me, how he's patient with the kids, how he just doesn't just jump at things, tolerance also, he's quite tolerating, and everything. So I really learned that a lot. Honestly, before I got married to him, I was not so patient. I was not so tolerant, though still reserved, but I was not so. But I've learned how to be patient with the kids, I've learned how to be patient even with him. I've learned how to be patient with decisions. I've learned how to be patient with situations that just come and just wants to make you angry or make you feel I don't know how to put it, bothered or uncertain and everything. He has taught me how to actually tolerate, you know, and actually be patient. Yeah, so I really admire that about just by me watching you being patient with us has taught me how to be patient with us and with things around me and situations also.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. The second thing I have learned from you over the years is hygiene. Yes, personal hygiene. I've actually learned that, or should I say, I've added more to what I'd always known
Yeah.
from you, and things like, oh, when you use the toilet, you wash your hands with soap, things like that. When you go out and come, have you washed your hands and things, and it
Go
goes
married.
on.
I thought he was washing. After he finished using the toilet. I thought he was washing his bum bum. I said, eh? What is this?
So I've learned that personal hygiene and in terms of keeping the toilet clean, not just waiting for weeks, but trying to wash it regularly and everything. So in general, I've learned personal hygiene.
Okay. Okay. I know say I how to arrange an organizational space.
Okay, you don't know if it's here.
I'm sorry. Huh? Okay, so I've learned how to be loving from him. Yeah. I did not know before I got married that uh, love could exist like this. Could this be love?
It is love.
Could this be love?
It is love.
So really, he changed my mentality about love. Really, I wouldn't be getting into so much details, but I can remember even when we started cutting, he would tell me something, we were chatting, then it was BBM, I can't remember, I was there WhatsApp then, and then we started chatting and he would tell me, I just say, okay. He said, just okay like that. No dear, no nothing attached to it. So I actually learned how to be loving from him. I'm naturally caring, but loving, that kind of love, I learned it from him.
Okay.
Yeah. You love without boundaries.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, the third thing I have learned from my wife over this year is should I put it as journaling and writing?
Aww.
Yes, my wife can keep journals very well. She writes very well, and I am learning that. Is something that I've observed. She like for me, I believe I must not write. It's in my head, but at times one could get stuck. But I have learned that it's good to journal. It's good to write. It even helps you, even with God. It helps you to keep track with
Record.
with what yes, like what you are doing with God and all what God is doing with you. It helps you to keep track on the things that God is teaching you daily and things like that. So I've learned that. I've learned to journal. I've learned to write just by me watching and observing her for this year.
And market list.
And market list, yes. Like me, I don't even like that market list things because at times I go to the market myself and everything. She say write this. I say write what? Can't I? Is it not my? Is it not? I'll buy it. But at times, like one could go and still forget to buy one or two things. But when you write it down, there's almost no way you can easily forget it.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Okay. The fourth
Fourth,
thing
yes.
I have learned from you
Hope your
is
mic is on. Okay, yes.
okay. The fourth thing I've learned from you is how to accept correction. You know, how to accept correction without defense
Mm.
or without defending your actions. It is something for one reason or the other, people will become defensive,
Mm.
But when I met him and when we started our relationship, I would do something, and yeah, I've also learned accountability, and also accepting responsibility for my actions. I don't know how to put that right, but you know how you do something and it doesn't really seem right, he just calls it out and tells me this thing you did. Even when I'm trying to do the whole emotional thing that we do as ladies, by crying and all those things, he just tells me something. Then in relationship days now, relationship told me, he used to tell me that even if I'm not gonna get married to you, I just want to present you as a very almost a perfect person to the person you're going to get married to. So when you do something, take responsibility, apologize, apologize for it, accept correction. You don't have to defend everything, accept this is wrong and try to right your wrong and everything. So he has actually taught me that over the years. I could be a strong-willed person. That is, I know what I want, and this is what I want, and I go for it. But being with him has taught me how to be bendable. I don't know, for lack of better words. Making me also. I've also learned how to respect him the more, and just knowing that what, this is my head. If he says this is the way we are to go for, I don't need to argue about it. He's the head. He's the one to make the decisions, and everything. So it has helped me to be more teachable.
Mm.
It has helped me to be more responsible for my actions. It has helped me to accept corrections without feeling hot or being defensive. So that is one of the things I have actually learned from you, to know that what, you are my head, and I stand to be corrected.
Corrected,
And
yeah.
always perfect.
That's powerful. Okay, the fourth thing I have learned from my wife over these years is planning ahead and organizational skills. Planning ahead. Like, one thing I've observed is, if she has something to do, let's say 2 months from now, she can begin to plan for it, which is not my usual way of doing things. I could even wait until that very day and say, okay, this is what we'll do. Carry my clothes and everything. But hers, she will be planning and be planning and be planning, and she's quite detailed with things. She knows how to organize and begin to learn such, because in life you don't just wait. Like, you don't prepare in battle, right? You prepare for battle. So, and if you adequately prepare and plan for things, things won't go bad. That's just the truth. And or go anyhow or go our way, like not as planned. But what I have learned from her so far for this years is, she plans ahead. She knows how to organize things, and it is something that one should learn and adopt and apply to one's life. Plan ahead. Don't wait until you have reached there and, like, and I'm trying to look for a way out. Plan ahead and you'll always get the best result of things. So I planned that for me this is.
Why am I feeling so emotional in this video? I don't know why I'm feeling emotional, but it's for a reason. I remembered something else,
Okay.
and I'll tell you at the end of the video.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so my last reason and my last
Point.
as regards to what I have learned from you over these years of marriage is being selfless and not self-centered. This is something that so many persons lack. It's very easy for you to think about yourself, what you're going to eat, and you go out to buy something for yourself, you you're not just you are not anticipating the other person's need. Let me just put it that way. And that is something my husband does a lot. Like, and I've learned that so much from him. Like, you have to go the extra mile to anticipate the need of the next person. It doesn't matter if it's your husband, yeah, your kids, your roommates, your neighbors, whatever. Just have to think, if I behave like this or if I do these things, am I making it easy for the person or I'm making it worse for the person? Am I making it difficult for the person or I'm making it, I don't know those things, but that's what I've learned from him. He's someone that just thinks about you and just feel like, if I do this thing, I believe I'll make her work easier. So I go to work or I go out or wherever and I come back and I see that he has made food already and I'm just coming home to eat. Like, I remember a particular day I went to work and my colleague was even saying, okay, this is the weekend when
You go home, you
when
need
you
to
go
cook
home,
good food for your
good
husband.
food for your husband, make swallow for him and everything. And I said, oh, my husband has already prepared food for me.
Mm.
I'm not already prepared for me, so I'm just going to eat. I'm not the one going to cook for him. He was a guy and he was shocked. Like, really? As many men will be running home to do, and severally he
Yes.
has done that for me. He just goes out, he just figures that, okay, Maggie is finished. He doesn't need to wait for me to tell him. Well, he just figures that, okay, the pampers, the diapers for the kids, it's finished. Just figures that, okay, what will the kids take to school tomorrow, you know. Just figures, he just does a lot of figuring in his head without me even mentioning to him. Do you understand? And it just helps to ease the burden of women thinking. One of the burden that comes with you being your wife and a mom, you're
It's
thinking,
the whole
what
thought,
do we cook? What do the
family.
kids take to school? What
Mm.
do I do? It just helps me ease that and so that I'm a bit relaxed. But when I have someone who is thinking alongside with me, do you understand? So that is one of the things I have learned from you this year
This
of
yes.
marriage. Yeah.
Okay. My own last point as regards things I have learned from my wife for this year is an ability to multitask. Most times, men, we don't really know how to multitask. Once we say we want to cook food, then that is all. We just need to cook that food. We don't want any other thing to disturb us. But I have learned to understand, I've observed that if you must have things done, you must learn to multitask. And I've learned that from my wife. So now, by God's help, I can do a whole lot of things at the same time.
Wow.
Yes, by just observing. I can be cooking food and still be attending to my kids, still be trying to wash the dishes, the plates, still trying to keep the house tidy,
I'll still be
and
listening to you,
and
coach.
still be listening to message. So one can multitask
Oh.
just by observing her for these years.
So yeah, so let me say why I was feeling emotional before I appreciate you.
All right.
So I was feeling emotional because I can remember some statements that were made before we got married, and so the statement of, the marriage going to work. Do you remember? Is the marriage going to last? Is it going to be troubled? And a whole lot of things, uncertainties around such statements. But God has been faithful. I can say it without mincing words, without whatever, that this is one of the best things that have happened to me in my life. Like, no stress, no stress zone. He's not stressing me out and he doesn't seek to stress me. As a matter of fact, he seeks to ease my burden. Anytime I just go to him with anything, he just goes ahead to know how to fix it, and even if it's the emotional part of him just listening. So I really want to appreciate you for making making marriage so beautiful for me, because left to me, I wouldn't have known how. As a matter of fact, if you have watched our wedding video, you can go on YouTube to watch it. You'll see that I cried from traditional wedding
It's
to
true.
white wedding.
I saw one today while I was going through the
Oh,
pictures.
I cried so much, right? Because based on the things we had heard about marriages, and I was like, oh, young girl like me, I'm going to enter this kind of responsibility. Oh, because I never really, I don't know, I was not really expecting him to help me out this much. I was feeling that, oh, my life is gone. Oh, no, but I'm in it, and honestly, it's blissful, it's peaceful, understanding, loving, caring. You don't keep malice, you don't bear grudges, it's just like uh, moving forward. So I'm grateful to God for giving one of his sons to me. I guess
Aww,
it,
thank you so much. Okay.
you, yes, and I don't regret my decision. I didn't miss it in my life. I don't
Mm,
regret.
thank God,
So
thank
thank
God.
you for being you. Sometimes, severally I've asked you what kind of heart do you have?
Mm,
Because the thing, so
mhm,
that was what gave birth to premarital classes for Happy Family Ministries, because I looked at him and I said, you have what so many other guys do not. If you could please just teach guys, just teach people how to have a peaceful home. Honestly, the rate of divorce in
mm,
our world today would reduce. Honestly, if you can succeed in transferring your nature of heart to people, especially guys, because I feel that they are the head of the homes. You know, if you can succeed in transferring your nature of having your heart, the knowledge, the wisdom,
mm,
how you go about things, I feel that people's homes would work. I
mm,
look at him and the way he did his thing and he does his thing and everything. It was not what we are used to seeing. I just told him, just your child, go out and help to people and just teach people. People need to learn. I just know, honestly, marriage can be beautiful.
mm. It can be beautiful, true.
It can be stressful.
Mm,
I'm not saying disagreements will not come.
mm, mm.
Certainly, you are living with someone that you have not
Yes,
known
it's
all your
not.
life. You barely have known him for a few years down the line, and you're still getting to discover yourself. But if you have some certain wisdom, knowledge, the kind of heart, you know, towards your spouse and family life, honestly, and you are also working in conjunction together with God, honestly, you would have a trouble-free
Mm,
marriage.
that's
So
true.
let me just stop there.
Basically, I've just come to realize that you see Christ, which is the head of the church,
Hmm,
and most times when people hear of marriage, they know
hmm,
that marriage just typifies the relationship between Christ and the church.
hmm,
Now, if Christ does not hurt the church,
hmm,
which is like the bride of Christ,
hmm, hmm,
Christ does not hurt us, doesn't make us cry. I see no reason why any man should make his bride, make his wife to cry.
hmm,
And I've just come to understand that, you see, if God is love,
hmm,
and we say we are Christians, and we say we love God,
hmm,
then we should have love.
hmm,
And these are some of the understandings that I personally have, and that makes me to act the way I do. Understand? I just believe personally that if you know God and God is actually love, then you should know love, and everything about your life should be loving. And that's why I still can't understand how a man will say he loves God and still not love his wife. A man will claim he loves God and still not display love to his wife, to his children. So I just want to encourage those who are listening to me, make up your mind to be a wonderful spouse to your husband, to your wife. It's a function of a personal decision.
hmm,
Yes, a personal decision, because I actually made some of these decisions long before I even got married. That whoever will get married to me would feel so blessed to have me as a spouse. It's a personal decision, and by God's grace, it's happening today. So I want to encourage you. There's no gain in being hard to a man, in being hard to a woman, just being all like there's no peace in your home, strife and things like that. There's really no gain in it. And I really want to appreciate my wife, because even if I know so much and she's not making the atmosphere like conducive to apply the things that I know. And the marriage will not still work out. But she has really been a supportive wife, has been helpful, keeps pushing me towards what God has called me to do, and been a highly supportive wife. So I sincerely want to thank you so much. And I pray for us that God will continue to keep us and sustain us. And for the very purpose for which He has sent us on earth, we'll definitely live to fulfill that purpose. Thank you so much.
Alright, guys.
Okay, I actually have a gift for you.
A gift?
So I'll pause it now and then get the gift.
A gift?
But it's not well packaged. I have a special gift for you. All for you, baby.
Wow.
And happy anniversary to us. Thanks for being such a wonderful wife this year. This is just a token to show my appreciation to you.
Wow.
I think that
Alright.